Call of Duty Zombies is not quite the same without the signature perks, and Cold War this year is returning to its roots with plenty of fan favorite perks returning. But as you've seen from the title, we're talking about an interesting mechanic added into Cold War Zombies that has not yet been publicly revealed by Treyarch. But this has been described by Activision in a very weird way that we're going to be getting into as we get into this video. Now, whilst this seems very real, we have to take this with a pinch of salt. But I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on this down below in the comments section. Genuinely, I'm surprised I've not seen anyone talk about this yet. And it is pretty big stuff, so be sure to leave a like rating so more people can see this video. So what exactly am I talking about here? Well, we already have the fundamentals of the original perks returning. We have a new layer now in Cold War Zombies with this perk system where we have upgradable perks, which is something we've never had before. And there's no full actual details yet on what this means, but hopefully it will add a lot more progression to a zombies game and give you some big benefits to some of the lesser used perks. Some ideas I've seen thrown around is that with Juggernog, for instance, you could perhaps upgrade this and it could grant you another additional hit on top of what you would normally get from Juggernog, essentially rewarding you with more benefits as the game goes on. This could be on a zombies match session by session basis, or it could be a constant progression which you'll be working towards in all the games you play. So eventually we'll all have perks maxed out with more abilities and uses than their original versions. This system will completely change the way we see the basic original perks returning, such as Speed Cola, Stamina Up, and Juggernog, for example. And with the example of Juggernog, this is where things get really interesting with this new mechanic, because obviously this is going to essentially change the way that Juggernog works in Cold War Zombies, as it will essentially be more powerful than it originally was. But this is another step further. Now, this new detail I'm about to share was revealed in a secret feedback survey that Activision sent out to people at random about their feedback on Black Ops Cold War Zombies. The message specifically was, have you heard of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War before today? If so, what specifically did you hear about it? Now, these sort of surveys are fairly common to see from Activision. They send them at complete random at different points, but it seems like they might have goofed a little bit here by having a checkbox answer for a detail in Zombies that's not actually been revealed yet. And this is an all-new armor system that can be utilized in Zombies mode. Yeah, that's right. Apparently Cold War Zombies is going to have an all-new armor system that can be utilized in Zombies mode. So not only do we have Juggernog returning and it's going to be fully functional like it normally is, but we now have a armor system that is going to be utilized on top of having additional health. Now, this was shared on the COD Zombie subreddit by SandASDF, and my first impression is I'm a little bit concerned about the sounds of this, because if we already have Juggernog, then why on earth do we have an armor system on top? This might make Zombies be too easy. We've had armor before in Zombies, but it's worked very differently to how this is going to work. Black Ops 4 Zombies had an armor system that was purely from using your specialist weapon. Now, when you think about it, I don't know if it makes sense to have a super overpowered weapon and then giving yourself more health on top of that. I don't really know if the balance was ever there. You guys can let me know what you think down below. But that's the first time Treyarch has ever dabbled into armor in their Zombies game. But we did have an armor system in World War II Zombies, which was called Geist Child. Now, this was a fairly unique system because there was no Juggernog, and instead it was a spirit shield, which would let you survive up to 3 fatal hits before the 4th hit would down you. Now, what was unique about this system is once you lost that additional armor, you could rebuy it, but the price would increase every time you bought it. And it went from starting at 500 points all the way up to capping out at 10,000 points. Now, to give credit where credit's due, I think Sledgehammer Games were trying to make the most balanced system that they could, where they didn't want people to rely on Juggernog, but essentially have an alternative version that made the player a bit more aware of every time they were getting hit and not relying solely on always having that additional health from one perk purchase. But I think the overall consensus was people didn't really like it. But this is described as an all-new armor system, so it's something that has never been in a zombies game before. And my immediate thoughts of what an armor system could be like in this game is probably linking it up towards Warzone. We're seeing even in multiplayer with the fire team dirty bomb mode that there is armor plates just like in Warzone, where you can pick them up off the ground, plate up with the animation being identical to Warzone, and it does give you increased health as opposed to the standard 150 health. Perhaps that's how it's going to work. We will find armor plates that we can use to plate up from killing zombies or finding them around the map, and there could probably be some potential there for there to be like armor boxes that you can find as well. And the system could be that you could be carrying armor plates and you can plate up so that not only do you have Juggernog, but you also have a armor system that can give you more health. But then we go into, well, why would you buy Juggernog if you already have increased health from the beginning? Like, we don't know if this armor system is going to be something you will always have, if it's something that you'll have from the get-go when you spawn in, you'll have like plates on you. We really don't know. But one other thing we could look at is the potential that they might use the blackout armor system, which had multiple different versions of armor that you could wear that had different strengths. There was like tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 obviously being the best. My only thought process for linking that into this is the fact that some of the crates you can find around the map from the zombies trailer we've seen match the same model of crate that you can find in Blackout in this down to a T. But an alternative and probably more probable explanation is that they might be taking out the shield in zombies, so instead of having to build a shield now, you will just have this new armor system, which could actually work out a little bit better. Rather than having to learn all the spawns for the shield and having it built in a certain part of the map and remembering it and having to go there specifically, you could have a completely different system here where you might be able to carry like armor plates like Warzone and essentially be able to repair that anytime you want, and then have to either replenish it by buying these plates somewhere or the zombies dropping the plates. At this point, we really don't know. But the one thing is that if this is true, if this Reddit post isn't some fake picture that someone's made just to troll people, then I hope that Treyarch get it right with this system. I just can't imagine how this is going to make sense unless it's a shield replacement. If it's something more than that, then the game might potentially be a little too easy. But when we look at the fact that they're now got multiplayer modes that are combining the world of zombies into what we know and love, as well as the full expanded zombies experiences we're getting, maybe it makes sense that they want to implement those familiar systems from Warzone and Fireteam into zombies, so it feels a little bit more connected and makes a little bit more sense. I mean, when you look at the new mode that's coming, Onslaught for PlayStation only, I can't imagine they're going to suddenly drop perk machines all around these multiplayer maps. So I think an armor system would work pretty well for that instance, but I just don't know about the full zombies experience. We're going to have to see. But I want to know your thoughts down below, guys. Do you think this is real? Do you think it's fake? Multiple people, including myself, can confirm that an email was sent out about a feedback survey. I don't think anyone would go out their way to Photoshop this just to get some clout on Reddit. I do think this is a genuine answer that was on the feedback survey, but I can't confirm if anyone else got this answer. But hey, I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. I'm 95% believing that this is real, and I think it's only a matter of time before we either know this is a real thing and we get more info, or it's debunked and we know it isn't. But be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already with that bell tick so you don't miss out on any future news videos like this one, and of course Cold War when it drops. And on your screen now is another fantastic video from myself. Click that and I'll be with you in just a few moments.